Welcome back to another video, guys. We are down on Jeremy Flynn's property from the Hunter podcast. I met with him several weeks ago regarding, sort of the structure of what we're going to do with these plots, based off of, already existing food down on the bottom and creating more of these kill plots up on these ridges tight to bedding.
I hate having the only food in like basically the main access.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was up to me,
Right.
I probably would still plan it or something, especially with having some more access
Yep.
roads coming in. But like I would maybe even start planning deeper in, and that front part either leave fallow or do switch or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, just so that I'm not walking right into food or bringing those deer up so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's truly going to be from like a satellite standpoint, like okay,
Right.
we've got this bedding area here, south facing, any south wind. If I have a plot on this top, I can slip in this east side and get into that. And hopefully these deer are pulling in probably off of that hillside with wind to their back. But
yeah, I mean, I think if you treated the bottom more as like a destination food source where it's like nocturnal.
That's exactly what I want to do.
And just not, I mean, you could probably hunt it at some point.
It'll be for the kids.
But
like I don't care.
More so sit back with a gun maybe.
That's it. Yep.
But I think too, if you had, I mean, from all the guys, because I talk with a lot of guys here in Ohio on a yearly basis, and all the guys that I know had success this year was like little clover or rye plots tucked back into bedding.
Yep.
And they're tough to hunt, but like it works.
I think those are deadly. That's why I think this one up here on this knob, looks good. I was thinking a similar one over towards that saddle.
Yeah.
Saddle. So I've got a ladder stand over there. In fact, that's where we hunted opening day.
Okay.
And I mean, the deer numbers started to really teeter off.
Yeah, for sure.
But at one point in time, I mean, that thing was a super highlight. Essentially have a bigger destination type plot up on that top, and a smaller one like off the bench of the original property there. You know where
Yeah, kind of where you and me first walked. Well,
it would have been where you kind of stopped marking. It like kind of kept going.
Yeah,
forward,
yeah.
And you're like, hey, I didn't mark anything.
Yep.
There's one flat, like oak flat there. I have a stand there now, and it's right before you get to the tornado blowdown stuff. Right?
Yep.
So that spot would probably be like where, again, like a little Clover-esque type plot, knowing destination.
How big of a plot were you thinking up here? Like 2 acres, 1 acre?
2.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.5 to 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Something that I could like maybe put a substantial. I'm not going to do like grains or anything, but like a substantial brassica plot.
Yeah.
And then these would be clover oats or clover rye, something like that. Same with this. Same with probably that one. And then I would do. I've thought about fencing and doing like a beans or something to standing grain down in that bottom.
Yeah. Basically, what I want to do is, whether it's on a map or whatever, but I want to figure out dimensions, get a good idea of size and shape of the plots, and then Josiah wanted, I'm going to take the drone up, get some drone shots to show kind of just what the stuff looks like that he's dealing with. And then over here, are you still thinking of putting a plot in where we had originally discussed before you bought it? Yeah.
That would be that first, and
so like he wants to see the type of stumps and stuff he's dealing with there.
A quarter to half acre type
pretty
thing,
small.
Right. Yep. Same with probably over here at the saddle. You may end up saying, hey, listen, it can only be an acre. That's fine.
You're right.
Whatever we can get up to 2 acres.
I think you could pretty easily get 2 acres out of that. It's a lot of dead ash and just small stuff.
Don't know, what the machine capability is there.
The job they did on the last one, I mean, they can turn anything into a food plot. It blew my mind. So they still have the other 2 plots up front, or sorry, the clear cuts.
Yeah, those 2 smaller pine plots.
So they have those 2 to do, and they said they're going to actually hop over to the other side of the road before the weather gets bad, and then work on this as weather is wet, rather than they.
Yeah, I don't.
And then they're gonna basically at the end of the project, I think, is when they're gonna put that perimeter road in. So honestly, I've seen it a couple times where the deer don't really know what the heck to do with it. But they kind of slip into a rhythm, and it starts pulling in deer like crazy. So
yeah, no, that's the plan, man. We'll see, but yeah, I think those will be good. So
perfect. Okay.
Cool.
Very good. We'll go take care of it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
We did a full podcast a couple months ago on the timber side of things. If you want to check that out, link will be in the description below. But I'm super excited about this project. We're partnering up with Game Plan Land Management. They have done some projects for me in the past, and me and my clients have been very, very happy with the work that they've done. They are doing, we've got about 4 acres of plots here that we're doing on this property. A couple larger destination plots that are close to 2 acres. And then, you know, we got, like, this is a 1/2 acre kill plot. We got another 1/2 acre kill plot on the other side. Super excited about this. And, you know, we got some stumps to grind out here yet, but I'm really happy with how they're turning out so far. So I think this is gonna be a pretty sweet project once everything's finished. You know, between having all the cutting done on it, it's gonna just completely change this property. From, you know, a pretty open property that a lot of the deer were sort of just passing through, to a thick property that's gonna hold a lot of deer. It's got a lot of security cover and food, and on top of that, now they have, you know, the setups to actually kill the deer, these little pinch points, the little kill plots that are so deadly. So super excited about this project, and we'll keep you guys updated with however the rest of the project goes. Okay, so I'm standing here in one of the smaller kill plots. The project's finally finished. The logging crew is still skidding through here a little bit, so they're gonna have to dress some of this stuff up, but the plots are put in, all the stumps are ground out, looks really good. Yeah, I'm super excited about what this is going to do to this property. So again, you know, we talked about earlier in the video, but this is all staged off of, you know, being very intentional how this is structured given the layout of the property. We have basically a big ravine going up the center of the property with about 5-10 acres of field down on the bottom, and we're gonna, you know, treat that as a destination food source. It's very difficult to hunt that with it being down at the bottom. You have swirling winds, you know, the deer up in these points looking down into that bottom food source, so it's difficult to hunt that. Now it's going to help being that the property is a lot thicker now. The deer aren't going to be able to see nearly as much, but I still like to have these smaller kill plots back tight into bedding. And with this property, you know, given the way that we structured the road systems and the topography, is going to lend itself to be able to access around the back side of these plots, and having deer, you know, come out of their bedding off these points, hit these smaller kill plots before they drop down into the destination food at night then. So it's just going to create a lot more opportunities on a property like this, going from solid timber, you know, every direction around here with very little food, to suddenly having, you know, 15 acres of food on a property is going to completely change the way this property hunts, alongside doing the timber harvest to create more bedding. So, you know, you started off with a raw piece of ground that had no food, a lot of big mature timber, which, you know, looks pretty, but really doesn't give you much as far as the hunting side of things. So we go in, you know, do a selective harvest, and then do clear-cut pockets where we're promoting, you know, more bedding on those points where they're already wanting to bed. We're just enhancing those areas. And then on the outside of that, on these rims, we're creating these little kill plots. And some of them, you know, are a little bit longer, a little bit bigger, more designed for a gun setup. And then, you know, like this one here in particular is more like 1/2 acre with, you know, some nice pinch points and stuff that lend itself really well for a bow setup, and they're easy to access. So super excited about what this will do. You know, working with Game Plan Land Management has been a lot of fun. They do great work, and hopefully you'll check them out. You can check them out on Instagram. I'll leave their link down in the bio, and we'll be doing a lot of work with them in the future. So appreciate you guys watching the video. Stay tuned for more videos like this in the future, and we'll see you in the next one.